Sam Broom, and this little project has mainly been a labor of love for my daughter and me. We can't blame that on Katrina, because before Katrina, this lot looked like that. So the Mayor's Office of Recovery, City of New Orleans, they were donated a whole lot of sunflower seeds and came up with an idea to try a sunflower remediation project, looking at vacant properties, especially post-storm, to see if cultivating sunflowers would actually help to remediate the soil. Dr. Agarambo and his chemistry students actually created a grid on this whole property and pre-tested the soil. After that, we looked at the results. Some of these grid sections were as high as 1,000 parts per million for lead. The United States, I believe, 300 to 400 is acceptable for growing food. The UK and Canada is something like 172 parts per million. After that, we planted sunflowers over the whole site, and we did that for about 2 years. We have a year-round growing season here, so after we would harvest them and dispose of them according to EPA, DEQ regulations, we would plant another round. At the end of that pilot program, the 1,000 parts per million were registering somewhere at 7282 parts per million. Some people think that you let the sunflowers grow and flower, but actually they grow to about this high. You take them up by the root, you put on a face mask and gloves, you take heavy, like contractors' plastic bags. As long as it's not way over 1,000 parts per million, you can put that in the black bags and take them to your landfill. It was in danger of going back to that. I would like to have a place to, actually grow. A land use agreement with Cafe Reconcile, $1 a year. What I had to do, because the soil under here is so compacted, it's compacted clay and rocks and that sort of thing. You can't get a pickaxe through it. What I did was I covered the whole lot in cardboard, and then a layer of wood chips, and then the growing medium. So that high-rise building to the back, that's the Gust high-rise, and it's occupied by disabled and elder citizens. Once they pay their monthly rent, many of them have as little as $10 or $20 left to buy food. Even though they're getting commodities, many of them have diabetes, high blood pressure, other illnesses that come with age and poor health, and are not able to eat those things that are in those commodity packages. And he came over last summer. He said, "Baby, you think I could have a little place I could grow some, a little something?" I said, "Brother Alfred, you can have all that area along the wall and the berm on the side." So during the summer, he had all sorts of field peas here, and okra, squash, tomatoes. And there's another gentleman, elder, who lives in the building, Mr. Williams, who has also come by. So the 4 rows that you see over here will be dedicated to Mr. Williams. And what they're doing, because Brother Alfred would harvest and take food and share with some of his neighbors over at Gus. And what they're trying to do is get production up a little more so more people can eat. So I'm all about that, because really this is a demonstration garden of what's possible. So now the hook for me is working along with them to help, provide more fresh food for the elders.
We have some bees here. Like I said, it's a reclamation of a urban garden space. And myself, I'm stubborn, and I'm waiting for rain before I put something in the ground. It doesn't want to rain though. We have chickens, and what I anticipate doing is being a market grower. Well, this is Louisiana. If we grow something, we're going to eat it. If we grow something, it's going to be provided to our friends, family, and community. We're not going to just grow something and be like, oh no, that only goes to the restaurant. That's not going to fly anywhere here in this state. They may express that, oh, I'm growing for a market, or that's the way I plan to sustain my gardening or pay for my gardening. But that doesn't mean that they're not providing food for the community.
Half of my garden is devoted to vegetable production. The other half of my garden I have devoted mostly to perennial crops like blackberries, figs, papayas, bananas, grapes, asparagus. And that's in part because the garden's so big and I don't do market gardening. I actually think of it more as a demonstration garden. So I don't need to produce that vast quantity of any particular crop.
Carolyn Yank, and this is a city lot that I've been growing on for the last 2 years. It was a vacant lot since the 1950s. But this year I'm going to do something different, and I'm becoming a mini CSA. I have 8 households now so now I'm calling myself a neighborhood farm rather than a market garden enterprise. And so I have 8 households that, I feel like pretty confidently, can be supported with produce between like November and June. So it's a new model, and I really want to actually catalog and weigh how much produce, because I think sometimes in urban gardens, like, we can say, oh, we can feed so many people, and I really want that number.
The skins are edible. If any of you know about muscadine, they have kind of hard skin. These are soft. They're still slip skins, but you can eat those too, and make different preserves out of everything. You can do it all with these things. But they're good, real good for fresh eating. I have Supreme and Fried. That's the 2 different varieties I have. The Fried is a bronze grape, and the Supreme is the black grape. Called sweet kumquats. I had a lemon that got beat up by a real cold winter last winter, and then those pots that upright pot, that's sugar snap peas. I just threw them in.
This is called Covenant Farms. There are several lots that this organization is working to develop in the neighborhood. Covenant House is a nonprofit organization that works with at-risk youth. They initially started out with a landscaping company called White Dove Landscaping, which has been a very successful program. This area was used for was like a depot for landscaping company, and now that they're really trying to increase their vegetable production,